It is time for another special edition of Litter Media Live, brought to you by our friends at Adena Health. You see in studio we have guests from Chillicothe High School as their thespian group is putting on The Wind in the Willows. We'll explain in just a moment, right after this from Adena Health.
Mark came to the Adena Orthopedic and Spine Institute in severe arm pain from a degenerative disc. Minimally invasive spinal surgery got him back to what matters most. At Adena, we do what we love, so you can too.
We'll introduce from my left to the far left. First of all, we have Mr. Toad with us. Mr. Toad is Lucas Parks, the student director, stage director, and technical director. I got all that right. Is Noah McAdams, and also Jacey Stevens, who plays the part of Mrs. Otter. Were you kids familiar with the story before tryouts came along?
Yeah, I read the book back in like 8th grade. So
Okay.
I was not familiar with it.
Yeah.
It was always a bedtime story. I don't know.
Yeah. You'll need to lean a little more into the microphones there. Just stage presence. Use your theater voices here today. The story, who wants to tell the story? Because Mr. Toad's like the main character, right?
I mean, kind of. The whole show, he's like an eccentric, very wealthy like character, and he only thinks about himself. And so they're basically trying to help Mr. Toad, but he just keeps getting himself in more and more trouble by stealing the bigger and better vehicle. And then eventually he gets himself in prison, and they have to like try to get him out and retake his house, which is Toad Hall. So.
Now, a lot of times when we talk to actors who have come in, we ask them how close their character is to who they really are. Is this a pathway we'll see for Lucas Parks down the road?
No, I've not stolen any cars. So.
Let's make sure that's not part of your future,
Yeah,
right? Jacey, what's it like to go through rehearsals? I know you've got another week of rehearsals before. This will be December 6th, 7th, and 8th, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Our rehearsals are very, I don't know, I would say they're very long rehearsals, but everyone,
very productive.
yes, they're very productive, and everyone just wants to be there, and it's a very good environment, and I think we're all learning a lot from the rehearsals.
You're a junior. Noah is a junior. You're a senior. Noah, what's it like to keep the upperclassmen in line? I mean, you're the boss here.
I mean, the upperclassmen are fairly well behaved. It's just when we do the children's show, we typically can have people from, I think our youngest this year is in the 5th grade. And then we have people all the way up to 12th grade. So it can be a little harder to manage some of the younger ones, but we make sure to introduce them to the world of theater well and teach them.
How long have each of you been in the theater program?
I've been doing it since 7th grade. So.
Okay.
Since I was a freshman.
This is my first year with Chillicothe's theater program.
But it sounds like you've had some previous experience.
Yes.
In a Chillicothe Civic Theater portion?
Yes, I've been doing Chillicothe Civic Theater since I've been about 8 years old, I'd say.
Oh, wow. Very nice. Have you guys had CTT experience as well?
I've done 2 shows with CCT.
I did a little bit of tech for Greece a little while ago, but other than that, not really.
So are you you're more comfortable with the off-stage appearance as opposed to being on stage?
Definitely.
Yeah. Everybody needs something like that because you have to pull everything together. Has it been difficult to bring out what you want from Mrs. Otter and Mr. Toad here?
They've actually been working really well, and that's part of the reason why they're here today. They've done some of the best acting and most proactive work in rehearsals, and they've been consistently at all the rehearsals, and it's just, they are definitely the best to work with.
Yeah. How about that? A pat on the back from the stage director. I know you've been rehearsing this week. In fact, is rehearsal going on right now, or did it just finish up?
We're on break today. I think
Okay.
today is Miss Betts is going around the county picking up stuff for the set. And tomorrow's Thanksgiving, and then Friday we've got a set day.
Okay, very good. And everybody, even if you're an actor, you're participating, putting the set together, right? Because you're learning all facets of this. Because who knows, this may become your career down the road. What a great way to start it, right? This will take place at Chillicothe High School, correct?
Yes.
And what are the performance dates? Again, we laid out there, but what time will what's the curtain call?
They will all be at 7 p.m.
Okay, even the Sunday performance.
Yep.
Oh,
Yes.
very nice. We don't see that very often.
We don't.
No matinee.
And ticket prices are what?
$12 for adults and $10 for students and seniors.
Okay. I'm 62. Do I fit into that senior category yet? Or,
I mean,
You can fit in the student.
or didn't know if I needed
Yeah,
to be
I think-
65 or so. But just come out and enjoy the show. When did you start rehearsal? I mean, you went through, no doubt, tryouts and everything.
Our auditions were October 14th, and we started that,
That date.
Oh, wow.
and we started the week after, I think, yeah.
Okay, so you've not had long rehearsal time then.
No. We're on a fairly professional schedule, to be honest.
Yeah. Now, this is the current production that we're expecting again in early December. What's down the road? Do you have other plans for the rest of 24 and 25?
I mean, I know that our dinner theater will be, I think it's still being written by this
My
man's
dad.
father.
So it's up here right now. Not quite on paper completely.
My dad writes it, but
Okay.
The wonderful Neil Parks. And then I don't think we're allowed to tell what the spring show is yet due to royalty issues.
Understood. You got to sign the paper before you can start promoting things. Yeah. But having a local writer like Neil, that's got to be pretty comfortable for your program, right?
Yeah. That's what we did last year too, and he did a really good job. So I'm excited to see how it'll be.
turns out. Yeah.
So tell me, Lucas, then, what is the opportunity for you to inject your ideas into what Dad is writing?
I get a choice in which characters stay in the story and what plot lines we follow and what endings he ends up writing, because he usually writes 4 or 5 endings and we cut it down to 2 or 3. So.
You know, it would be cool sometime if you have a 3 or 4 day run to have all 3 or 4 of those rehearsed and change the end of the play so that it's different every time.
We actually do that.
Yeah, I mean
do you?
that's kind of how the dinner theater works. We typically do a murder mystery type of thing. So the audience will vote on who the murderer is, and then
you get their ending, which is really cool.
Gotcha. Okay, so they make that decision, and then you say, okay, it's script C.
yeah.
How we're going to wrap up. That's pretty neat. I like that. Do you see yourselves doing this later in life?
I definitely want to go into technical theater when I'm older.
Yeah.
I definitely want to go into musical theater for my profession.
And Jacey, you've been doing this all your life.
Yes.
So you probably won't take a break, right?
I don't think I will. I think it'll always be somewhere in my life.
Yeah. Maybe after that 3rd or 4th Tony Award. That might be a possibility, right? What drew you guys and your interest to be a part of the school plays?
It was something I started out scared of in middle school, but then I don't know, I discovered that I loved playing another character, but seeing yourself within that character. That's just something
Also, the community
the
behind
community
everything.
aspect
It's
of it
great.
is-
Yeah.
I would agree with the community thing. And also, for me personally, doing technical theater, it's constantly a challenge almost, but it's a challenge that I always try to overcome. So it's an ever-developing environment.
And you build great relationships along the way, too.
Yes.
Because you're just like every microphone is an open microphone. When you're on stage, you don't want to fall on your face. But if you do, somebody's there to pick you up, aren't they?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're lucky to have such a supportive theater department.
Yeah. We like hearing that. We appreciate you coming in to talk about this. Again, December 6th, 7th, and 8th, Chillicothe High School in the auditorium there. And ticket prices again are $12 and $10?
Yeah, 12 and 10.
Okay, very good. Anything I've missed?
I don't believe there's anything. No.
Well, let me ask you this: how big's the cast?
It's either in the mid-20s, probably.
Oh my!
Or
It's like at least 30, I think.
Yeah.
yes, I was gonna say
Probably.
it's probably in the 30s, but it's definitely at least in the mid-20s.
Man, that's almost musical cast numbers there. I recall my sister, her junior year, I think it was, in high school, she was the lead in our town, and there were only like 6 characters in the whole show that I remember. Of course, I was like 7 when it happened. But yeah, I'm trying to remember back, and these days, if you have the participation, you find stuff for them to do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't turn anyone down for the casting process of the show.
Yeah.
So there's so many different like characters and parts.
Yeah.
you can fill.
And there's always something to do in the background too.
Yeah.
You always need set design people and everything else. And give me a fresh water, would you? Those kinds of things. Well, thank you again for coming in. Chillicothe High School and their thespians will be on stage December 6th, 7th, and 8th with The Wind in the Willows. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching as well here on Litter Media Live.